Good morning, YouTube. It is Sunday morning at 7 a.m. I decided to try to get a fishing day in, so I've come out to a boat launch on Hartwell Lake called Hurricane Cove. I'm on my dad's V-hull this morning fishing. I think it's a 16 or 17 foot low V-hull. It's nothing spectacular by any means, but versus fishing on my pontoon right now is what I have that works. I hope to maybe next year buy my own fishing boat again. I sold my bass tracker about 7 years ago, and I'm really looking into getting another one sometime. But anyway, I'll show you what I'm gonna work with for now, and I'll record some fishing today, and hopefully we get lucky. So this is my dad's boat. I'm not sure what year the boat is itself, but the engine is newer. It was replaced at some point. Runs pretty well. And it's a deep V-hull. It's not really designed for bass fishing, as you don't have that platform to stand on, but like I said, for now, make do with what I've got and hope I can upgrade sometime here in the future. All right, everybody, this is a spot that I fished before and had a little bit of luck on this point, and as well back in this little cove here, right past the tree on the other end. So I'm gonna kind of work us around here. The water temperature is 82 degrees. We'll just see if we have any bites here. We'll try this spot for maybe 30 minutes or so, and then we'll move on. So like I've said before, I'm by no means a professional, but I have been fishing my entire life. Sometimes I run into a lot of luck and have done well. Sometimes I come back empty-handed. We'll have to see how the day plays out here. Like I said, I have had luck on this point here recently, so I'm hoping that it might pay off. So what I like to do is, starting out in the morning, especially with the water this warm this time of year, I usually start off with a top water, and I'll throw it out. And usually what I'll do is I let it sit a lot. They seem to strike it more when it's sitting than when it's moving. But then I'll just give it some little twitches every now and then. Well, I had one hit it, but I missed it. Let's see if he comes back. He might come back for it. I heard one jump behind me, so at least we've got some activity. Let's see if I can go back and get that one. Got another jumper out deep. And I'll do a video at some point of the gear that I use, the arsenal as a lot of people call it. I have a number of rods and reels at home, but when I load up here on my dad's boat, I normally only bring 3 to 4 with me. Like I said, I use this one with monofilament line just to mainly do top water. And I have a spinning rod and reel. I heard one over here jump. Let's just see if we can go over there and see if he might be interested. I have a spinning rod and reel set up to drop shot. And then I have one set up just to worm fish. And I normally fish a Texas rig on that. Sometimes I'll do a Carolina rig here. I've had a lot of people tell me they have a lot of luck with them. In the number of years I've fished this lake, I haven't had a lot of luck with a Carolina rig. And maybe I'm just not fishing it right. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I started out fishing when I was really young with my dad. And we started out really fishing for crappie. Then I got into catfishing at night for a number of years. And then I got into bass fishing, I'd say early 2000s. Bought a couple of different bass boats. Both of the boats that I owned for bass fishing prior were aluminum. I have never owned a fiberglass fishing boat, though I do want one. This year, when my wife and I sat down and went over our budget and decided to buy a boat this year, I was originally looking at fishing boats, but she pleaded the case that we now have 2 kids and that a pontoon boat would be better for our family. So that is what we decided to go with. And I figured as long as I'm able to borrow my dad's old boat here, that I can still get out and fish. The pontoon boat, I know some people fish off of those. It's just, to me, it's too much work. A lot of times I fish by myself. It's a pain to put that thing in the water by myself. It does have a little bit of a platform up front, but my wife doesn't want me to put a trolling motor on it, and I honestly don't really want to put one on it myself, being a new pontoon and taking the family out. See if we have any luck at this spot. Guess one of the advantages to this deep V hole is kind of sit back and put your feet up and relax. I don't want to go too far back in all that brush. And what I'm actually doing today is what a lot of people recommend not doing. I'm really just riding around and not paying as much attention to the fish finder itself. I'm just kind of fishing some spots where I've had luck before. So if anybody watching is familiar with Hartwell Lake, then you might recognize the area, but if not, we are just, I guess, north of Anderson Beach. We have my dad's boat here has a Edge 45, I believe, Minn Kota, and it's foot pedal but cable steering, which it works out fine. I guess I don't know if it's just that I'm too lazy for it or what, but I really like the all digital models, and I like the higher ends that will keep you in place. When you get on a spot that you like, then I like to kind of sit there and have it use GPS and keep me in that spot. Like I said, I used to primarily fish for crappie and catfish, so I'm used to casting out several lines in one spot or one area and sitting there and waiting on a bite. Bass fishing is a lot of fun. It to me, I mean, I really love it. It's just, to me, in my opinion, they're more difficult to catch. Now, I see a lot of people that seem to have no issue catching them, but I'm not one of those people. Felt like I had a bite. I'm not sure if I snagged something or if I had a bite and missed him. And I guess you call it power fishing too, but I see a lot of people that they get a bite, they about yank that sucker out of the water. You know, by not doing that, maybe I missed some. But it hasn't overly been an issue for me. I mean, a lot of times I've had bites and not had a problem hooking them. Let's go a little bit closer to this point over here. This is where it was really right off the point where I caught my last fish. I think it was only about 1.5 pounds, but then you get all these pros and different people on YouTube and people that catch tons of big fish. You know, I don't know if it's the baits that I use, the areas I fish, my technique. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is, but I'm not one of those people that just have been able to catch monster bass. Most of the bass that I catch are, you know, 1 pound to 3 pounds. Biggest bass that I've ever caught is probably about close to 4 pounds, but I don't think actually hit it. I think there's some brush down here. Yeah, feel the bottom. A lot of brush I'm going across. Sometimes it feels like a bite. I don't know if you guys can see that crane over there standing beside that rock. We'll get up on him eventually and he'll probably squawk at us a little bit. So right now we've pulled into a little cove that, again, I've caught fish before off this rock bank. Right now we're right off of Brown Road in Anderson.